afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video where today, ladies and gentlemen, and it is literally just gone 1 minute past 12, and I welcome all of you to, and again, let me just give you an idea about just sort of where we've gone so far, is that we started today by talking about Somalia. Then we went all the way to Norway. Then we went east to Romania. And now we're only about several hundred miles ahead once again, as we are now in Egypt. This is sort of like, again, this is almost like just one of those things where we're just sort of like slowly working our way in very non-auspicious directions all across the world. And who knows where we're going to end up next. I honestly don't have any idea, but it's just one of those things. Now, Egypt. It's almost one of the... It would be very, very difficult for me to like go into too much detail about the sort of things that I literally almost would say this might be one of the few times where I can't... Yes, I am going to talk about their national anthem, but I also want to spend more time talking about things like the Valley of the Kings, the pyramids, the sphinxes. It's fantastically amazing, like, history. I want to talk about all of these things separately. And I mean, again, I even worked on like scripts about about the reign of people like Ramses II, or he was also I think he wasn't it like Ozymandias he was also referred to as, and I know a fair thing about Ozymandias thanks to Percy Shelley, and again but that's just like the tip of the iceberg. There's all sorts of things like biblical like significance from how Moses led his people out of Egypt and out of the Egyptians, and about how Egypt is just sort of it's come to be. It's all over the years, and how its history is so rich and striking. And again, just like when we talked about all those castles in Romania, everything has been preserved for the centuries. I mean, just going over some of its, just a short summary. A country linking northeastern Africa and the Middle East, it dates to the time of the pharaohs. Millennia-old monuments sit along the fertile Nile River valley, including Giza's colossal pyramid. Is it Giza or Geyser? I'm going to say Geyser instead. Geyser's colossal pyramids and Great Sphinx, as well as Luxor's hieroglyph-linked Karnak Temple and the Valley of the King's Tombs. And its capital, Cairo, is home to the Ottoman landmarks like Muhammad Ali Mosque and the Egyptian Museum, a trove of antiquities. So you could say it's just, and listen, I've been, and this is also one thing that also caught me like by surprise. It takes something close to nearly 12 hours just to get to Sharm el-Sheikh. What? Yeah, now listen. Now I say that because I've been to Egypt twice in my life. When I was 13, and when I was... Oh, and by the way, this is just a point of reference for anyone whoever wanted to travel to Sharm el-Sheikh, because I've swam in the Red Sea before, and... Well, I should be more specific. I went to Egypt in 2011 and 2012, specifically February of both respective years. And bearing in mind, when I say February of 2011, I mean, yes, only a couple of weeks after a lot of those tourists was killed in the shark attacks that happened in the Red Sea. So that if I was accidentally eaten by a shark, absolutely nothing of value would have been lost whatsoever. Sad but true. Also, if you are thinking about ever going to Sharm el-Sheikh or anywhere in Egypt specifically for a holiday, go in February or go just before like Advent or before March really begins in the UK, because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, Egypt, if it's not probably one of the warmest countries I've ever been to in the winter, then I don't even want to even begin to imagine what it could be like in the summer, because in February the temperature never once dropped below 44 degrees Celsius. And goodness knows what it would be like again in summer. It must be almost past imagining. Then again, it's not the UK is not that sort of climate where you would ever get anything as close to that. The closest we've ever had it to where it's been a climate in Egypt was in 2022, where we had a monstrous heat wave, and I was put on Legionnaires duty to make sure that the water was actually, not going to poison anybody. That's how rare things like that is in the UK. And again, it's probably one of those things where Egypt has probably had to not so much make do, but they've learned far more. They probably know maybe more about how to treat that sort of stuff than maybe even we do. But aside from all that, let's actually talk about their national anthem. And sorry about that. There we go. We'll start here. So, just a short history, because it's a particularly short one here, is that my homeland, you have my love and my heart, also known as Bilady, 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 is the national anthem of Egypt, composed by Saeed Darwish and written by Mohammed Yunus El Qaid, and it was adopted in 1979. And the lyrics were written by, like I says, Mohammed Saeed Darwish, composed the music and maintained close ties with early leaders of the national movement of independence in Egypt, such as Mustafa Kemal. The chorus derived from one of Kemal's most famous Egyptian nationalist speeches. Now, Egypt's first national anthem dates back to 1869, when a royal anthem was composed to honor the monarch. It is unclear how long this anthem was in use, although the monarchy was disposed in 1952, and the anthem was used as a part of the anthem of the United Arab Republic of Syria, with Syria in 1958. And aside of that, there's really not much else to talk about, really, with its national anthem. Well, with Bilady, Bilady, Bilady specifically. In fact, I just want to check. I know it says Hymn National de l'Egypte, but I just want to... because I know, again, it's sort of one of those things where it's one of those anthems where it doesn't go much beyond 2 minutes, but it's sort of got to be... I think we could cut a line pertaining to... We'll start here. It seems... Why does it keep cutting to the end? Just so maybe we could get more of the chorus and get everything involved. That might be a good place to start. So, with all that being said and done, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. And please rise for the national anthem of Egypt. like that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I've never once disliked actually a national anthem so far, and I think one thing that's actually kind of like striking about Bilady is the fact that it's actually very it's sort of, again, if Romania was the national anthem that talked about being ready for a time of war to overthrow an outdated, corrupt monarch, Bilady is the national anthem immediately after the event has taken place, and it is time to reassert a much better nation than the one that was in charge before. That's actually a really, really cool idea. And because the entire song is very upbeat, it's the sort of thing you can imagine people would sing with absolute gusto and with a lot of pride in their bosoms, because it just, even the way they sounded and even the way they were playing, the trumpets and the drums and everything like that, everything suggests that this is meant to be fantastic. Something remarkable has happened, and it could literally just be all associated in the fact that this is their home. It's not just a place where they lived. This is a place they can call home. And again, this would all have to be, again, one of those things where it would either be something that's, again, what life might have been like before the monarch was overthrown, but it would also have to be one of those things where I can understand again about what it's meant to be about. And again, just the fact that it's very short, but it gets its point across 100%, is something that is very, very good to get behind. But unlike Thailand's national anthem, for example, where it's too short with not enough really to make it seem as though it's one of those things you could say with not so much like love, but it's one of those things, it's more of a duty. This sounds like it could be almost sung in any real context with any real motivation, and it's even quite catchy. Of Bilady. I like that, ladies and gentlemen. I like how catchy it is. I like how it sounds, and I just like how there's something, again, it's how genuine it must sound in the throats of thousands of Egyptians who sing it day after day. And by the time I come to do the translation of this video, ladies and gentlemen, again, you could be accounting on so many things to talk about. Its history of Ramses, the tombs of the valleys of the kings, that one pharaoh with ridiculous hair. There's so much to get into, and there's so much that I wouldn't even begin to know where to start. But coincidentally enough, what better place to start than the start? So make sure to check out that video, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are wanting to see that, make sure to check out Raging Reality International, because that is where you're going to find a lot of my translations of these national anthems. So best of luck indeed. And certainly it would give me a lot of very interesting ideas. By the time I go back to Egypt, I can assure you it won't be dull for 1 second to visit your Bilady once again. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video to Egypt's national anthem. Please make sure to leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys have felt of Bilady for yourselves. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.
champ. Glad you could make it to the end of the video. I'm super glad you cared this much. If you could do me a great favor and like this video and subscribe to my guy right here. He didn't want to say it himself because he knows I say it way better. Till next time. Mwah.